Okay, insight number 18. The more dramatic the difference, the more intricate the pattern, the more the capacity of the mind works to perceive and focus on those differences. The individual is thus, through engrossed attention, mesmerized by the object or idea, and becomes less aware of other life matters. I like to read this again. The more dramatic the difference, yes, the more intricate the pattern, the more the capacity of the mind, the ability of the mind, works to perceive and focus on those differences. The individual is thus, through engrossed attention, mesmerized by the object or idea, and becomes less aware of other life matters. Okay, so the more dramatic the difference, the more the capacity of the mind works to perceive the difference. I mean, let's say you see a game, right? A simple kids game. You see a simple kids game, and somebody says, "Hey, you want to play this game?" You go, "No, it's too simple." Exactly. It's too simple for your mind. It's not intriguing enough. It's not complex enough. You're not interested. This could be in relationships as well. All right. Let's see. The more dramatic the difference, the more the mind. Yeah. So the more dramatic the difference, the more the capacity of the mind works to perceive the difference. Therefore, the mind becomes more focused on the objects. Right. Like you have, like the video games, very, very intriguing, many things going on. And so people are really dang focused on it, I mean, especially you see these, I've never played these games where, the shoot 'em up games where they have these, I don't know, Xbox or whatever, right? Or whatever else there is, A lot of people are really, living there. They're living on these things. There's a video on YouTube. I saw this lady take the Xbox and she's videotaping this, and she says, "Look, I have to do this because my partner, my husband, my partner, whatever." She's saying that he's just saying he's addicted and he doesn't know it or something. So here is what I'm going to do with it. She puts it under the wheel of the car and drives over it, and then slams it a few times down, broken, and she says, "I'm going to have to hide in the bathroom now and record what happens." It's crazy. All right, so. So a lot of stuff going on in these video games, and they're very realistic. Now, what's funny about this is that if it was about a guy who's married, has a wife, generally he's not going to go and play a game that is involving a married game, where you meet other people and you're in a setting of family setting. He already has a family setting. Why? He's going to usually go to something that is very odd for him. So that's why you got the shoot 'em games, because that's not what you usually experience on a daily basis. Shooting, or flying a helicopter, or all these things, So the games are intriguing because. Largely intriguing because it's engaging the persons in doing activities which they normally wouldn't engage in. That's one aspect, of course. The guy could be into shooting for real life and still be in the game, I was attracted to how shooting really works, and he likes the game also, Anyway, so. The more intricate a pattern that is shown, the more the mind has to work at trying to understand the patterns. The more the mind is focused on it, And the more the person is mesmerized and under the control of the object that is mesmerizing him or her, and the less the person is able to be aware of other objects, ideas, and realities. I mean, that's what happened to the guy. The guy is watching too much and playing too much, involved, engaged too much in this game. He's occupying his life. So no longer is he interacting in a very meaningful, significant way with his wife and his local surroundings, his actual life. He's into the game. And she was saying, she got to the point where she says, I can't live like this. She actually used those words. I can't live like this anymore. This is so because the mind is very focused on the dramatic differences, patterns, puzzling, or interesting objects, or persons, or situation, you know. Now, here, insight 18 seems very similar to insight 15. See, insight 15 says, dramatic and subtle differences, the mind is captured by them. But here, on 18, I say that the more dramatic the difference, the more intricate the pattern, the more the capacity of the mind works to perceive. Focus on those differences. So here I'm going into more detail now. So I'm saying, yes, the mind is affected by dramatic and intricate differences. However, I'm also mentioning that the capacity of the mind is a thing that is involved. If you give somebody something to do that is beyond their mental capacity, they're just like totally baffled by it. They're just like, what the heck's going on here? Whoa. You know? They don't know what to do with it. And it just goes over their head. So this one has to do with making aware of the capacity of the mind, your mind's capability, working on these differences, mesmerized by it. Therefore, you're focused on here and less focused on here and here and here, and what you have to eat and what you have to drink and what you have to work for money and how is your relationship going and how is spirituality and what the heck's going on in life with the economy and the banks and your life in general and your family and friends and all these things are left because you're focused on here. Because your mind is working with this. It's mesmerized by this thing. Busy with this. Let's focus on that because it's busy with this. Excuse me.